Alright, Schlockmeister fans, another re-review from my previous channel, Autopsy. Let's check it out. So this woman is cutting her wrist. There's like a rash of suicides going on in these Italian villas. Which leads us to the morgue. Mimsy Farmer plays Simona Sana. That's her.
No, not like that.
That's her creepy, pervy co-worker. Perhaps the creepiest scene in the movie is when she sees one of the corpses get up. Of course, it's all in her head. She sees other naked people get up and even start copulating.
Upstairs, sounds like. I'll be right back. Wait for me. Hello? Yes, it's me.
That was her neighbor on the phone. Then fast forward to the next day and we have ourselves another suicide victim.
Just tell me what's so important.
I believe this is Simona's dad.
Why do you look at me like that? Don't you think I'm a pretty nice guy? A divine man, in fact.
He's getting married.
Last I found someone... Simona, what is it?
Back to the girl on the beach.
It wasn't a suicide.
This is her brother, the victim's brother.
You know your corpses, but I know my souls. I confessed this girl only minutes before what you call a suicide. And she could not have killed herself because I had given her absolution. And she had returned to the grace of God. I've known this woman's soul since she was a child. My name's Lennox, too. I'm a brother.
Undress me.
Simona gets a man. I think his name is Edgar. Can't show you much more of this scene. But she can't seem to concentrate on her man. Instead, she keeps seeing the visions of those guys in the morgue. Edgar finds out that the priest used to be a race car driver.
That's the accident. And that's Paul Lennox. Think it's the same guy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I've already killed a lot of people! You understand? You understand? I'll kill you too! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
He's got some anger issues. A while later, they find another suicide. So Simona's doing some investigation. Maybe she can figure out if it's a real suicide or not, which takes her to this bizarre museum.
Is that you in there? Open up!
What the hell happened there? He shows her a bunch of old nudie slides. Gets her so hot and bothered that she takes her clothes off. Her father.
Now look, I told you the truth. I was in love with your sister, and I was going to marry her. We decided in Florence.
Later on, her father takes a tumble. Creepy co-worker tries to force himself on her.
What are you talking about? Come on, baby. Come on.
She eventually gets the upper hand, though.
Please, no, I don't mean to do it. No, stop it. No. Calm down, baby. It's not self-defense, it's murder.
After the attack, she goes back with Edgar.
I love
Then she goes to confession.
I love
Please, Simona, don't hurt yourself so much.
I'm not hurting myself, you're hurting me. Why do you have to hide behind your cloth? You are a man, aren't you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Simona, I love you too. I'll never give up my vows, but I love you. Express himself.
So her dad is paralyzed now, but they have a way to communicate with him.
There's something like that in experimental psychiatry. I know what you mean.
So he finds a way to communicate even though he's paralyzed from the neck down and can't talk, but he confirms that he didn't commit suicide. We get a shower scene and perhaps a stranger in the house.
In any case, I also happen to know that you had a fist fight with your brother the night he fell. I have to take care of Edgar too.
So now it looks like Edgar might be our killer.
I'm too weak.
I drank your beer. I'm sorry.
What for?
Don't worry. It only knocks you out. It won't kill you.
And
Your father knew what kind of a monster you are. And he fell down the cellar stairs. You see? I understood him too.
he injected the priest with something.
Get away with this.
He sets up Simona's naked body on the floor, and then he drags the priest in. He's going to undress him, too, and make it look like they were a couple in some sort of love thing and suicide cult pact. I believe the gas is on in the house, and they're both paralyzed, but he can move a little bit, and he's able to open up some pills that's going to help him get up. He manages to turn on some water in the sink, which is plugged up, which causes a flood, which he hopes will be noticed. The dog noticed, at least.
Miracles, too.
And they get out of there.
Listen to me. I haven't come here to hurt you. I just want you to come down with me. Edgar! No! Are you crazy?
But our film ends with Edgar's fall.
God, Lennox!
And our film ends with everybody rushing to check out the body. All right, let's talk about this movie, Autopsy. This is a movie that I had on a beta tape. I rented it from probably TNR Video in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, back in 1986 or so when it first came out. I had it on a tape. I think I had the same tape with Autopsy, Torso, and Maximum Overdrive. I believe this is an Italian-made flick, Giallo, if that's the way it's pronounced. I always have trouble with that word. Starring an American actress, I believe she's American, Mimsy Farmer, who, in this movie, she resembles a little bit kind of like Amy Adams. Not quite as cute as Amy Adams, but a little bit like her here and there. So she's like this young pathologist who's working in a morgue. One of the opening sequences is she's working in the morgue and she starts to envision like one of the dead bodies, like this naked black guy get up from the slab, and then this other naked white woman get up, and then the two of them start rolling around a little bit, but it's like all in her mind or something. I don't even know what that had to do with anything with the rest of the movie, but it was probably the best scene in the movie. It was really creepy, so I kind of like that. But what we have here, I think it takes place in Rome and in Florence, two places I've been actually in my real life, and it was kind of interesting to watch these movies because I'm seeing sights and things that I've actually seen in person, which is kind of cool. But anyway, I digress. So in this Italian area, there's a rash of suicides. In fact, that's how the movie starts out. We see a bunch of suicides happening in the movie, at the beginning of the movie, and this one woman comes in who's dead, and again, it's ruled as suicide. However, her brother, who's a priest, comes in and says he doesn't think suicide was an actual murder. So the rest of the movie is basically Mimsy Farmer's character, Simona, I think is her name or something like that. And this priest, they're trying to figure out, are these real murders or were they fake I'm sorry, were they murders or suicides? She's apparently writing a thesis on this very subject about the differences between suicides and fake suicides. And I'm just wondering, is that a thing? Is that something that really you can theorize about? I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, so the rest of the movie, I don't know. Some of these giallo films, they're kind of all over the place, and we just see incidents of death, killings. Her father is involved. He's some sort of randy womanizer type guy, and he may have had an affair with the priest's girlfriend. I don't know. It's just all over the place. Next thing you know, dad falls off a balcony or something. He's paralyzed from the neck down, and he can't communicate. And ultimately, we find out there's this other guy named Edgar, I think was his name, who's the actual killer. And it's resolved at the end. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I just kind of lose my train of thought in this movie because it starts off kind of well, and then it just kind of tapered off into just confusion and stuff. And I have a hard time with these giallo films because I don't know, they just don't fit right with me, and there's like all kinds of characters and too much involvement and stuff. So I didn't really overall care for this movie that much. There was some nudity in it. That was nice. There was plenty of that, including our main actress Mimsy Farmer there. Naked bodies in the morgue as well, but alive naked bodies too, and a fair amount of gore. I don't know. This DVD, by the way, it was put out by Anchor Bay. It's also released on Blu-ray as well. I think it's in a compilation Blu-ray package, like this Giallo Volume 3 or something like that one of the companies put out. This DVD that I'm holding in my hand, this exact one here, is actually when I got married, my first wedding back in 2000. I gave all my groomsmen some sort of, you're supposed to give your groomsmen some sort of thing. I gave them, I can't even remember what I gave them, but one groomsman I gave a special gift, and that was my Schlockmeister brother Jeff. I gave him 2 DVDs, Autopsy and Torso. In fact, this exact DVD, because a year or so later, when he had to scale down his collection to make room for a child, he gave me a lot of his VHS tapes and some of his DVDs, and I got these 2 DVDs back. So there you go. I now have Autopsy to this day, and Torso too. So, but anyway, that is it. Again, it's Autopsy. Again, I don't know. I just don't fit into these type of movies very well, so they're not for me, but whatever. Anyway, you tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you like it. Leave some comments down below, and I'll leave a link to either the DVD or Blu-ray if you're looking for it, and check it out. Watch it. Bye.